We're jumping right in today because, well, we're going on a pretty fascinating journey. It's one that moves us away from those exhausting, sudden energy crashes and unlocks the secret to steady, vibrant, all-day energy. And this isn't just about feeling a little more awake. It's about fundamentally understanding your body's incredible metabolic engine. So why do we crash after eating? You sit down, you enjoy a wonderful, perfectly healthy meal, and then an hour later, boom. Instead of feeling energized and ready to take on the day, this heavy wave of fatigue just washes over you. Your brain gets incredibly foggy. You suddenly crave a sweet treat, and honestly, all you really want to do is curl up and take a nap. If you've noticed this happening more often as the years go by, I want to validate exactly how you're feeling right now. It's incredibly frustrating, isn't it? But please hear me on this. If this is happening to you, it is absolutely not because you lack willpower. It's biology. It is literally the invisible mechanics happening right inside your bloodstream. To put that into perspective, the CDC released some truly staggering data. 115 million adults in the US have prediabetes. That is more than 2 in 5 adults. And the wildest part? 8 in 10 of those people have absolutely no idea they have it. It's a completely invisible issue. You see, as we get older, especially as we cross that 60 mark, our bodies naturally become just a bit less efficient at processing glucose. So even if you haven't been diagnosed with anything, your body might be quietly struggling to turn the food you eat into the energy you actually need. Okay, let's dive into this and lay down the scientific foundation of how your metabolism is actually supposed to work. Think of your cells as little houses, and glucose, which is really just the sugar broken down from your food, well, that's the vital energy you want to bring inside those houses. But the sugar can't just walk in. It needs a way through the front door. And that is exactly where insulin comes in. Insulin is this essential hormone released by your pancreas that acts as the physical key to unlock those cellular doors. Here is the exact step-by-step process. 1. You eat, and sugar enters your bloodstream. 2. Your pancreas senses this and releases insulin. 3. Insulin acts like a literal key, unlocking the cell door so the sugar can go in and give you energy. But here is step 4. As we age, or when our bodies are exposed to too much blood sugar over long periods of time, the locks get rusty. Let that sink in for a second. The insulin knocks. It turns the key, but the door just will not open. That rusty lock is what we call insulin resistance. Because your cells stop responding well to the insulin, all that excess sugar doesn't get used for energy. Instead, it just gets trapped in your bloodstream. And when sugar is trapped in your blood, it causes those sudden, exhausting energy crashes we were just talking about. It heavily increases inflammation in the body, which makes your joints ache and really amplifies that fatigue. And, well, because the sugar has to go somewhere, your body eventually signals the liver to store that excess sugar as body fat. But here is where we pivot to some incredibly optimistic news. You do not have to be stuck with rusty locks. A monumental 22-year study published in The Lancet looked at the diabetes prevention program. Researchers wanted to compare two things: intensive lifestyle changes versus using a really common diabetes medication called metformin. The results were absolutely mind-blowing. The lifestyle interventions led to a massive reduction in the incidence of diabetes after 3 years, 58%. That vastly outperformed the medication, which only saw a 31% reduction. In fact, within 3 years, they actually had to stop the initial phase of the study because the lifestyle changes were working so much better than the drug that they just had to share the news. The power to fix this is literally right there in your daily habits. Now, before we get into the exact habits you can use, I want to take a moment here. Please remember, these lifestyle changes are incredibly powerful and they can actually change your need for certain medications over time. So always, always consult your doctor before making any changes to your medication routine. Your safety is absolutely our top priority. Let's view these upcoming habits not as strict, restrictive rules, but as simple, brilliant little hacks you can just add to your daily life. The science of muscle contraction is absolutely fascinating. When you eat, your blood sugar peaks about 60 to 90 minutes later. If you just sit on the couch, that sugar stays trapped behind the rusty locks. But if you take a gentle, leisurely 10-minute stroll after your biggest meal, something magical happens. Muscle contractions literally open a back door into your cells. They pull the sugar right out of your bloodstream to use as fuel, completely bypassing the need for insulin. You don't even need to break a sweat. Just march in place while doing the dishes or take a quick walk around the block to stop that blood sugar spike right in its tracks. This brilliantly illustrates that improving your health isn't always about restricting your joy or completely changing what you eat. Sometimes it's literally just about changing the sequence. Imagine your dinner plate right in front of you. We want to start over here on the left. Always take your first bites from your vegetables and fiber. Then we move right into the center of the plate. Eat your protein and your healthy fats, like your chicken or fish. And finally, you move over here to the right. You finish your meal with the carbohydrates, like your rice, potatoes, or bread. Left for veggies, center for protein, right for carbs. Why do we do this? Because eating your veggies first creates a physical fiber mesh inside your small intestine. When the carbohydrates finally arrive at the end of the meal, they have to push through that dense fiber mesh, which forces them to be absorbed much, much slower. Just by changing the sequence of your bites, science shows you can reduce your blood sugar spike by up to 30 to 40%. It is essentially a free, magical metabolism hack. We want to make simple additions to our day using everyday foods like chia seeds, flax seeds, oats, beans, and lentils. Soluble fiber is really unique. When it mixes with water in your digestive tract, it forms a thick gel-like sponge. This sponge dramatically slows down the emptying of your stomach, naturally putting the brakes on how fast sugar hits your blood. The CDC highly recommends a high-fiber diet for managing blood sugar. Just remember, as you start adding a tablespoon of chia seeds to your yogurt or eating more lentils, you want to increase your fiber intake slowly. And be sure to drink plenty of water so you don't feel bloated. This is incredibly important because our natural thirst mechanism actually fades as we get older, meaning a lot of us are walking around mildly dehydrated without even realizing it. So the crucial point is this. When your blood sugar is high, your kidneys work overtime to filter and flush that excess glucose out through your urine, but they require massive amounts of water to do that. If you're dehydrated, your blood sugar becomes heavily concentrated. Worse yet, dehydration triggers a hormone called vasopressin, which panics and tells your liver to start producing even more sugar. By simply keeping a water bottle nearby and taking steady sips throughout the day, you give your kidneys the exact tool they need to keep your blood sugar balanced. Managing your blood sugar is intricately, beautifully connected to how we rest, how we recover, and how we handle the stress of daily life. When you're stressed or anxious or you toss and turn all night, your body releases the stress hormone cortisol. Your liver thinks you're in danger, so cortisol triggers it to dump stored glucose directly into your bloodstream to give you the energy to fight or run away. But if you're just sitting in a chair stressing out, that sugar just stays trapped in your blood. In fact, just one night of poor sleep makes your cells temporarily insulin resistant the very next day. Protecting your sleep and taking just 5 minutes a day to do some deep breathing lowers your cortisol, and that literally calms your liver and lowers your blood sugar. You now have an incredible toolkit at your disposal. Take a gentle 10-minute walk after meals. Try the food order trick. Veggies first, carbs last. Add a soluble fiber sponge to your meals. Keep yourself consistently hydrated. And manage your stress while protecting your precious sleep. You don't have to restrict the foods that bring you joy. You just have to work intelligently with your natural biology to bring back your energy. So, I want to leave you with a question to think about. Which of these empowering habits are you going to try tonight? Are you going to lace up your shoes for a simple 10-minute walk after dinner? Or are you going to test out that brilliant food order trick? The choice is entirely yours, and the power to reclaim your steady energy is in your capable hands. Thank you so much for joining me today. It's been an absolute pleasure guiding you through this explainer. Stay curious, stay energized, and I'll see you next time.
Thank you for your time. Subscribe for more health education. Like the video and share it to help others stay informed.